Welcome to another episode of One for the Table. I'm your host, Kimchi.
And I'm John Kang.
So, John, I see all over your social media that you've been posting shirtless, naked photos at the beach, wet. Would you like to tell us about that?
By naked photos, you mean me wearing a bathing suit, and that is perfectly normal.
Well, I wasn't shaming you. I didn't say it wasn't normal. I don't know why you're like being all defensive.
You painted a very different narrative than what was happening. I was
I
just
literally
at the
described
beach.
exactly what you were doing.
I was not naked.
You're mostly naked, except for a bathing suit.
But yes, that is true. I just got back yesterday evening from Puerto Rico.
Can you tell us what you did in Puerto Rico?
I met up with a bunch of other food content creators, like Lisa Nguyen and Janelle Eats and Korean Vegan and Dylan LeMay. There were like lots of us there, and there's Food at Home, people from all over the country, really. We just decided to take a trip together and go to Puerto Rico. I initially chose the place because it was a direct flight.
Selfish.
Well, like the last time we all met up, it was in Seattle. And like I have to go to LA all the time. And that's always such a long flight. And so like I want to go, and like every other place, like Mexico, like Puerto Vallarta or Cancun, there's always some kind of dumb layover. So I was like, I want to go somewhere that is warm and tropical and culturally interesting, that is a direct flight from me, and that is Puerto Rico. And then I just put it out in a group chat, and anybody who wanted to come came, and only the funnest people and the coolest people came. So, and we had a great time. We did a lot of cooking together. We went out and we ate a lot of food. And we also went to a rainforest and did like this natural water slide thing down rock formations. It was really awesome. I was there for 5 days.
Nice. I was like, wow, John is like really popping up with all these straight people.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's okay. It's not a bad thing, you know?
No, it's not a bad thing. I was just thinking about it. I was like, oh my God, Dad, that's true, I guess. It was a lot of fun, though. I mean, it was definitely not like a gay trip.
I'm sure.
And you know how different. I mean, like, you know, when the gays vacation, it's so much different. But this one was like a lot of really chill people, and and also Jessica Wu was there, and she brought her whole family. Let's make lunch for my kids, and her kids are so cute, and they're like very, very like mature, and they're food adventurous. So it's really cool to travel with them too.
Oh, that's good to hear, because if I heard like someone was like, I'm bringing my kids to the vacation, I'd be like, the fuck you're not.
Yeah, no, like she brought 3 kids, ages like 12 and under, 12 through like 4. Once they're the youngest one is like just barely a toddler. Her name's Olive. She is adorable. But she also brought like her sister, and her sister brought like this guy that like was our film guy, but her sister also helped take care of them. So it's like not like we were taking care of kids the whole time. But yeah, it was just so much fun, and we got to try interesting food. And I think the parts that I really liked was the fact that we had all these like food people that all ended up cooking together.
Yeah, that's definitely the difference between like vacationing with straight people and gay people. When you vacation with gay people, there's like an eating day and there's like a non-eating day.
Yeah, and you only get like one eating day.
Yeah. And then even then...
especially when it's to a tropical place. Like if you're going to like Puerto Rico or Puerto Vallarta or like, I don't know, Mykonos or something like that. I was like, you're not going out to eat, and chances are like you're not with just foodies. Like the people I was with would be down to try anything and anywhere. Like one of our tour guides was like, oh, you know, the stands here that are serving chicken on a stick, and if you ask what it really is, it's probably iguana. And we were all like, low key, I would be more excited if it was iguana.
But it wasn't.
But it wasn't. It was chicken on a stick. But yeah, so, it was fun. I would really like to experience Puerto Rico as
In a gay way?
Yes.
Yeah, so...
Yes. The guys there are really, really cute. The people there are super, super warm and super friendly. It's not as, established gay as, PV. But also, like, PV for me is, like, super far and not just a place that I would just go, even though PV is where a lot of people from Michigan go when they go to party.
For me, PV is, like, just like a 2-hour flight away.
Yeah, if for you it's 2 hours. For me, it's, like, 6 or 7. And then Puerto Rico is, like, 4. So... But it is they do say that they are the gay friendliest place in the Caribbean, which is kind of like saying, like,
like Dallas, Texas, it's like the most gay friendly place in Texas.
Exactly. It's giving like the bars on the floor. But, there's still a lot of like, there were a lot of cute guys. There were like a lot of openly gay people there. I think they have like 1 or 2. There might be like a gay district with a bunch of bars and whatnot, but otherwise, yeah, I would like to experience it as a gay person.
All right. Maybe I need to experience it in a straight way.
Have you been there?
No.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's not easy to get there from the West Coast.
Especially, I mean, I love vacationing with the gays. Don't get me wrong. But then also, like, there's like the gays that are like, we have to go to clubs every night.
Every night.
And as someone who's traveled the world, essentially all the clubs are the same inside.
It is. And the way people party, it's all the same. The only thing that changes is the backdrop.
It changes the backdrop and like whatever people like is in that town.
Same situation, different backdrop. Possibly, depending on the place, it may or may not be more dangerous to do this thing that you do everywhere anyway.
And that's not me shitting on people like who likes the club. Like, do what is fun for you.
Yeah.
But for someone like who doesn't drink, and I'm not trying to like hook up or whatever, and just going to club just means I'm getting less sleep the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I'm that this is why we are friends, because we see this from the exact same angle. I think that entire trip, the whole group of us, and there were like a good 10 adults there, I would say. We went through like 3 bottles of wine that whole 5 days between the 10 of us.
Yeah.
I drank more coconut water than wine that day, that trip.
And this is just my biggest like personal pet peeve. So if I wanted to go somewhere and if someone didn't want to go, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. Well, whatever. We can meet up after.
Yeah.
But for a lot of club people, I don't know, they have this like weird mentality. It's like everybody has to go to this thing, and they'll try to like convince you, and they're like, "Oh, come on, we're only here for like one night." But I'm like, when you go there, you're going to get wasted.
Yeah,
and you're not even going to notice that I'm there.
Yeah.
So why are you making such like a big deal for me to come to this club where I don't want to go, and like you're making me feel guilty about it?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Totally. Like.
And you're not going to notice me once you start partying.
Right. And I don't know if it's coming from the fact where they feel guilty where we're at home because they think that what we're doing is being miserable by ourselves. But really, like, there is nothing wrong with getting a good night's sleep and then waking up and enjoying a day.
And also, even necessarily, I might not be sleeping on vacation. Sometimes, like, there are times when you can, like, walk around, like, the town at night or... like get around like fireplace and have like an interesting conversation. There's just other things that you can do,
Yes, I totally get it, and
And if you want to go clubbing, that's fine, but like don't try to like pull me in it, like, and don't try to convince me to do it, because I don't want to do it.
Right. If anything, like that's like the most. I'm not going to say I'm going to be miserable. I will force myself to have fun in that situation, but it will take the most effort for me to have fun in that situation. Like, if your friends don't want to club with you, just go. That way, when you find somebody, you don't have to give them the sad puppy eyes and apologizing for dragging them out and leaving them stranded at the bar while you go home and hook up with some guy that you met there.
Yes.
Because 90% of the time, that is what happens.
Yes, exactly. And then
I feel bad. I'm so sorry. You're gonna be okay. Promise.
promise, yeah.
While I get
like,
my back blown out.
There's like Ubers everywhere. Like so easy to get back, you know.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I was thinking this could have been an evening taco tour.
Yeah.
Moonlight taco tour. That should be a thing.
I could have like walked along the beaches at night, you know, looking at these stars, and and instead I'm hit this like sweaty, like smelly club, watching you get drunk while I'm sober, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I think those are the people like are just the people that can't stand going somewhere or being alone.
Mm-hmm. But
even then, they're just going as
people
a
that goes with them, you know.
They always have other people. There's always a group.
There's always someone who wants to go out with them. So it's like not the same.
Yeah.
You know, just respect everyone's boundaries. And while we're talking about pet peeve, this is another pet peeve of mine. And in those situations, when you like go to like restaurants and stuff, and there will always be like foodies and people with like people, you know, that want to taste different things.
Yeah.
But then there's those people, you know, like who like food is like not a priority for them.
Right.
But then they try to like dictate everyone else's experience. Like, oh, I just want to eat light. Like, let's get something light. And I'm like,
yeah. I was like, no, bitch, we're gonna go to the place that we wanted to, and you will find something because this is a part of the traveling experience. Let me tell you, we went to this restaurant called Casablanca, or I think that's what it was called. And it was me and a smaller group that had broken off for lunch, and it was like the best experience in this. We all ordered something just a little bit weird and something that we couldn't get anywhere else. And like we didn't just share plates. We put them on rotation. So we were like, everyone was taking a bite of the main and then we just passed our plate to the left.
And that's how
and
it
then we
be,
like, yeah. And it would just like, we were just all eating off of the same plates and we were just like, you know, and we we're all tasting it and talking about it. And I was like, this is amazing. I don't think I've ever had like a foodie experience like that, where we were just so chill with each other that we were like literally just eating off of the main plate together.
No, because you want to taste everything and experience like the little different components in the part.
Right.
The only thing I don't like sharing are noodle soups.
Yeah, soups are weird. Any kind of yeah.
And noodle soups, even like when you go with like just a friend alone,
right?
And then you ask for like a separate bowl, and then you like split it. It does not taste the same as just eating like even if you don't finish the whole bowl. I feel like eating like a noodle soup after it's been plated and then separating it into two different bowls and eating it is like way less satisfying than just like.
There is something about it. I think it's like the smaller bowl might be colder or something.
And then you know, like the way it's like garnished and plate everything, when you like split it, it breaks up everything into like little pieces. And
yeah,
I don't know.
Rice dishes are fine, but like, noodle ones, but it's still like, you know, at that point, it's like you both should just order two different noodle dishes and just swap them.
Yeah. I'd rather do that than to like
separate them out.
And then ask for like two bowls and then like separate like two noodle dishes into a bowl. And, like, yeah. But anyways, continuing with your Puerto Rico trip, so what was the most interesting thing you've ate in Puerto Rico?
I mean, like there was, my favorite thing that I had there was there was a pork knuckle in like a curry soup.
Oh.
And it was served with a yellow rice. And that was like super flavorful and really, really delicious. And then on the last day, we went somewhere that was really nice, but we ended up so full that it kind of like erased my memory of like all the individual dishes. And I just remember it as like a flood of food.
You don't remember the names of it?
Yeah, no, I should have I did take photos and stuff, and I would remember if I saw the photos. But yeah, the thing that stood out to me was like a pork knuckle curry soup that was there. And of course, like we had things like mofongo and trifongo, which is like a smash and fried plantains. A lot of like the food that the tourists go out to eat it's very, very heavy food. which is interesting because it's so hot out there. But
yeah. Well, I feel like a lot of like the hot places, the food is heavy in general because but it's stewed and fried, so like the ingredients like last a long time, right?
yes,
It doesn't spoil as easily.
yes. And like everything was seasoned very like, you know, me, like I like to layer spices and make it like super, super complex. But things were like, I don't want to use simple as a bad term, but it was like very just pure. Like the seasonings that they use, like they don't really do a lot of them, but it is at the same time extremely flavorful. Puerto Rico has a very interesting situation being like a U.S. territory. I think it really affects what's able to come into the island and what is like, you know, made and caught and grown locally. But yeah, I would like to explore it more. That's why I want to go back and like take a look at some of these farms and do like that kind of thing, do more like exploring type stuff. But otherwise, it was a very, very fun trip. We stayed in the new San Juan area. And because like the last time I was there, I stayed in Old San Juan, which is cute, but it's kind of like not staying in Bourbon Street, but it's almost kind of like that.
So, my old hometown, Chicago, there's a huge Puerto Rican population, so there's like a lot of great Puerto Rican food to be found there. And like a really good Puerto Rican food is just like a reach away. And
from what I understand, Puerto Rican food in the U.S. is better than on Puerto Rico.
Really?
I think I've had a few people tell me that.
Oh. Well, again, I can't speak to it because I've never been to Puerto Rico, but every time I go to the Puerto Rican restaurants, the rice they have is probably like one of my favorites. It's like
is it their yellow rice?
It's like yellow rice, but there's like little pieces of like legumes in it.
Yes.
But then the rice has like a very intensely like cilantro flavor.
Yeah, it wasn't very cilantro either. The cilantro that I kept finding at the stores, because we shopped a lot, it all was not, the cilantro wasn't always looked very, very sad, unfortunately.
But they use sofrito, right? On everything.
Yes, they use a lot of sofrito, yeah, which is amazing. I want to work with sofrito more.
Yeah, I could literally eat straight sofrito, just like straight out of jars. So you're supposed to like cook it into things, but it just has that like, you know, like the zingy cilantro flavor that I love. Yeah,
I would make that in rice is so delicious.
Have you ever had a jibarito?
Jibarito, what's that?
Jibarito is a Chicago Puerto Rican food that it started in Chicago actually. And it's a sandwich. It is but instead of bread, it uses pressed plantain.
Oh my God, that sounds so good.
And after the plantain is like pressed, it gets deep fried. And then they put in like lettuce, tomato, mayo, cheese, and like steak.
I bet that is like the only thing you need to eat all day.
Yeah. But it's really good.
Because like plantains are like one of those things where it's like they are the most delicious things in the world. Do not ask. Do not try to ask how they're made.
Why?
Because there's very, very or ask like the nutrition info on plantains is like just don't enjoy it. Just enjoy it.
Well, tell me.
Huh?
Tell us.
Because plantains, like, it's just like the sugary starch that absorbs a lot of fat. So it's just extremely, extremely calorie dense. And like, if you find out how many calories are in like one plantain, it's like, it's better just not to know. Just don't eat it like every day of your life, but like enjoy it when you do.
No, it's like a banana. It must be healthy and full of potassium, right?
Sure.
And to take something that calorie dense and then deep fry it, serve it with cheese and everything. And have you read tostones?
That would come out of Chicago. Oh my gosh, that's so funny that it's from Chicago.
I mean, in Chicago,
because like Chicago food is like rich. Chicago food doesn't care if you live or die, as long as you have a good time right now. Like that's Chicago cuisine.
And have you ever had tostones?
Tostones?
Yeah.
I think I have.
Which is basically like fried plantains. Like the plantains are like pressed and then like fried and salted. It is delicious.
Plantains are so good. Today's St. Patrick's Day.
It is.
It is. Speaking of Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Oh, where they dye the river green every year.
The river is green. Mm-hmm. The river is green.
Yeah, it's a good tradition. And then followed by always like, people hating like, cannot believe you're dyeing the river, the ecosystem. And I'm like, have you seen Chicago River?
Right.
It's basically like a glorified garbage sewer.
It really is.
It does not have like a lush, like aquatic life, like living.
I was just thinking earlier today, I was like, could you imagine to be a fish in the Chicago River? Imagine like the fucked up religion that they have come up with to explain what happens to their world on St. Patrick's Day every year.
And speaking of Chicago River, one time, oh my God, this is like back in like 2010 or 2011, something. You remember when Groupons were like a big thing?
Yes.
There was a Groupon for kayaking in the Chicago River. And I was like, oh, this sounds fun. This seems like a fun, like healthy, like outdoor activity I want to do. So my friends and I bought the Groupon and we kayaked down the Chicago River. It was the most terrifying experience of my life because there's like random boats like coming from like every direction and you have to like kayak like evading them. And then the Chicago River is so disgusting. There's literally like garbage and like used condoms like floating on top that you have to like kayak next to while avoiding like all these boats. So the whole time it was supposed to be like kayak and like enjoy the architecture of Chicago. No, we were literally the whole time just screaming at each other like, go to the right, there's another boat coming. Oh my God, there's another boat coming from this direction. Where do we go? Just like panicking the entire time while like sweeping garbage.
And you don't want that water to touch you.
No. So anyways, Groupon. You never run out of it.
Is Groupon still around?
I don't know. Let me see.
I remember like loving Groupon at first and then realizing that like so many businesses lose money were losing money on Groupon that I was just like, okay, I'm not going to do this now because this doesn't sound right.
Because the whole thing is like it's supposed to be like a promotional thing for the businesses, right? To get people in.
Right.
But then also like there was like a lot of like scams and Groupons too where like it really wasn't a deal but they made it seem like it was a deal.
Right.
A Groupon is still a thing. It's like trending today in Chicago. Wait, I'm in Los Angeles. Let me change
You haven't used it since you were in Chicago.
Yeah. I mean, all right. I guess you can get like Universal Studio Hollywood admission tickets up to 73% off 2 hours of bowling and shoe rentals. Up to 50% off paddle boarding. Okay.
There you go.
Birthday party for up to 8 in Go-Kart World. BBL. Oh my God. So $15,000 worth of BBL, you can get it for $8,000 in Groupon.
That is hilarious. Of course, in LA. Of course, in LA, you can get a BBL through Groupon.
Oh my God.
Let me see. Let me see
if you're like, if you're going to get something like BBL, you know, something with such like a drastic change, like, do you really want like a discount?
No, because BBLs are like actually dangerous. Like that's saying like you want to get like I don't know, like a kidney transplant. You're not looking for discounts.
Yeah. Let's see. There is laser hair removal. $5 off of $25 gift card to Krispy Kreme.
I would do that.
You know, I've always wondered, there's so many Krispy Kreme locations and it's like a full storefront, right?
Yeah.
I just don't know how a lot of them like sustain. I mean, a lot of people like Krispy Kreme.
Like who's going to all of these to sustain them?
Krispy Kreme isn't like an everyday thing for a lot of people, you know?
No, it's not.
Like coffee,
but maybe it is
or like fast food. You know, people always like go get coffee or fast food. But
maybe it is for some people. Maybe there's just like some people who just bring Krispy Kreme to the office every day.
But then people don't bring Krispy Kreme to office every day. All these like offices across the globe aren't filled with Krispy Kremes every day.
Maybe not yours. Wait, Why am I getting the exact same? Okay, so like I've up to 71% off bowling with shoe rental at AMF Bowling.
Are
in
you
Roseville.
in Detroit or are you looking at LA?
I'm in Detroit.
Oh.
30% off CJ Barrymore's. I don't even know what that is.
Okay.
I guess it's a theme park.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Oh, wow. You can get a custom LED mirror that says your name. So you can get a giant mirror that lights up an LED light that says John's bedroom.
What? Mine are nowhere near as fun. Up to 90% off an online bartending class.
Why?
Membership packages at Sam's Club. 29% off a trampoline park.
Trampoline park actually sounds fun.
It does sound fun.
But also, I don't know.
Would
I love it as an adult as much? It sounds...
49% off deep tissue massages at Pure Relaxation. Oh, well, I might actually... Let me just bookmark that really fast because
How expensive is it though? Because a lot of times, like, they list like discounts, but then they just like jack off like the original price.
Yeah.
So you're actually paying for what you pay for in the store,
same,
but you're getting
fleeced. Yeah, the ones in Detroit are not nearly as funny as the BBL. The BBL is one that is hilarious, and it's just so on brand.
On brand, yeah. Oh, here's non-invasive laser lipo for $70.
Let me go to LA and get on Groupon real quick because I'm not trying to get 90% off a bartending class.
Yeah, that seems like someone like just graduated college, and then they probably have like a business degree.
Yeah,
and they're like, you know what would be, you know what's like, you know what the Bachelorettes and like, you know, and these like moms are gonna love online bartending class that they can take together. Oh wait, I have that too. Bartending course from Pro Bartending School for $5.
That's what it is. That is what. See, there just might not be a lot of Groupons in Detroit, so they're just desperately using, you know,
or maybe not that many people are like just using Groupon anymore. So then it's just the same businesses that pop up across the globe, maybe.
Right.
Oh my God! Look at our Groupon slender. All allegedly. This is all allegedly. Oh. But speaking of deals,
really quick about Puerto Rico. One thing I loved about Puerto Rico is how dog friendly it is.
Oh.
Like people were bringing their dogs everywhere. And I think because the dog culture is so dog friendly, everybody just knows to have like a really well trained dog. So people were bringing them to like the grocery store, into restaurants. There was a lady that brought like a big poodle to the gym.
Whoa.
And the dog was just like lying down next to her as she was working out at every single machine. They were all so good, to the point where like I was looking up like options to try to bring like one of my dogs for my next trip there. If I was going to stay there for like, I don't know, like a month to work on my next book by myself, I was like, I would do it in Puerto Rico and I would totally bring Bobo with me.
Okay.
That would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Boba, little beach dog.
Let's make it happen. Let's make this happen for John. So purchase John Kong's book, Kong Food, available on your local bookstores. And if you don't, ask for it. Or online retailers where they sell books.
Thanks.
Wink. Oh, so anyways. So you know what I did today? I felt like such like a proud Asian mom.
Wow, what'd you do?
Instacart had this deal where if you purchase like $50 or more from Costco, you get $20 off.
Where?
On Instacart, like right now.
Oh, okay. Keep talking. I'm listening.
To like March 25th or something, so you got a few days to do it.
Okay.
But then I went on the Costco website, and then they were also selling the Costco gift card, $100 for. Or sorry, they're selling Instacart gift card, $100 for $80. So I bought the Instacart gift card and I applied it.
A hack.
Oh, heck yeah. And then I have like a whole cart of stuff that I haven't checked out yet, but I'm going to after this podcast. So basically, I'm getting $120 worth of Costco stuff for $80.
Oh my gosh. Let me do that real quick.
Mm-hmm. I was like, have I saved enough money to buy a house? And might I let you know I don't need anything from Costco?
Oh my God, that's funny.
I was like, am I better than everyone else? And in my cart, I have 5 pack of toothpaste.
Oh my God, Kim.
And spinach, Dungeness crab.
I feel like this was like a purchase that you had done before, and you ended up buying so much of stuff that you ended up giving it to your neighbor. Like that time where you bought cheese from Costco and you bought a giant bag of and it came in like a giant, like 2 kilo bag of cheese.
I'll never go through before it expired.
Yeah, and so you gave it to your neighbor.
Yes, I mean, neighbor's happy. I didn't waste food.
True.
Everybody's happy.
True. What are you gonna do with that Dungeness crab?
I was gonna take all the meat out of the shell and then like split it into maybe like 3 sections and then like eat one the day of and then maybe freeze the other 2 so that I can like
throw it into some rice.
Yeah, throw it with some rice or maybe like put it in like some dip when I have guests over.
I wonder if like you can make like, you know how sometimes you like fry your rice in olive oil before like cooking it?
To try it out?
I don't know what it does, but I think you use it when you do that when making like pilaf.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what if you like did your rice in a little bit of butter and then you like fried the crab in there too? And then you added the water and cooked the rice? I bet you that would taste pretty good.
It sounds like you get your next YouTube video.
Buttery crab rice?
Mm-hmm. There's another crab fried rice recipe I saw that looks delicious. It's where you take the rice and then you toss the rice in egg yolks.
Yes, I've seen that.
And then you like stir fry it with crab and like garlic and all that.
And then the egg yolks eventually start to like separate and stuff, and the rice is like nice and golden. Yes, that's so good.
It looks really good.
Mm-hmm. But we are going to take a little bit of a break. We will be right back.
And we're back.
Hello, everybody.
So should he spiral and talk about the TikTok ban?
Yes, but one thing really quick first. So one of the people on the trip, Janelle, she is this Filipino food content creator, and she is amazing and super happy. But she served this thing for breakfast the other day. All she did was put a little bit of condensed milk on avocado.
Well, isn't that like a Vietnamese thing, right?
I think it's both. I think it's both. But then like her boyfriend, Doug, sprinkled my my shimmer salt on top of it. And it was so good.
Oh.
Like, it was crazy. And I was like, okay, this like beats the shimmer salt on the pineapple hack. Like, it was delicious. It made me kind of sad that we're like sold out of it.
So if you're listening and want to try to shimmer salt, you're shit out of luck.
Yeah, you are absolutely out of luck.
So and John will just tell you about it and tease you about it, but you can't get it.
Yeah, but if you already have the shimmer salt, put a little bit of condensed milk on some avocado. I guess you could do it with some lime and salt, but it's not going to be the same, but it's still going to be really good. But put the shimmer salt on top of it, and it is, oh my God, it's so good. It's so good.
People without the shimmer salt, what do you recommend?
I would recommend maybe like flaky salt with a squeeze of lime and like just a little bit of crushed Szechuan peppercorn.
All right, you heard it here first. So condensed milk, does it Do they ever sell it in any other form other than a can?
No.
Because
I've never seen like dried condensed milk or dehydrated condensed milk or anything like that.
I
If that's
feel
what you're
like
asking.
I'm actually surprised no one has like sought to make condensed milk in like a squeeze bottle. Because as someone who doesn't use condensed milk that a lot, but sometimes I just want like a little bit for whatever. I don't want to open up a whole can of condensed milk.
I always feel that way too. And I am so surprised to the point where I think like, there's no way that nobody else has thought of this.
Is it just not possible, or is
They
it not
must
enough
have
demand for it?
I'm just assuming that somebody must have tried to do that and it just didn't work or it didn't sell. Because like nobody, you're right. You're totally right. Very few people ever need a whole can of condensed milk.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, let me look it up. Oh, you know what? Oh. They do sell it. Oh, okay. All right.
Welcome to One for the Table, where we do not do our research.
No, I mean, we're just talking. It's a learning journey. We're all finding out together as we go.
Yes. We're all on a journey. So who sells this squeezy bottle condensed milk? Is it on Amazon? Can I get
it is on Amazon as well. California Farms. And then there's a brand called Longevity brand. And
there we go. Squeeze bottle condensed milk.
Lechera from Nestle.
Oh, you can even just buy like a restaurant wear inverted squeeze bottle thing and fill it with condensed milk.
Okay.
That might be even better.
Yeah.
Although the Longevity brand, I love the packaging.
Me too. I'm a sucker for any the owners of this better be Asian because I love supporting Asian American brands.
Oh, it totally is. Like it's called Longevity brand for.
That doesn't matter because we have white people trying to sell kanji.
Oh, it's true. That being said, like it's not cheap though. How much are you seeing it for? I'm seeing it for
$20. A pack of 6 though.
I see it for a pack of 2 and it's $20.
So which means it's $10 a bottle.
But if you buy a pack of 6, it's $35. Which makes it
so about like $6
a bottle. That's a lot for condensed milk.
But also the price could be jacked up too. It
probably is. It's always like the stuff where you find it at the grocery store where it's like, instead if you buy groceries on Amazon, it's expensive.
It is very expensive. Even when you try to buy like those like popular like bulldog like noodles on Amazon, it's like 4 times the price of what you pay in grocery stores.
Right. This is amazing. I see like a longevity, like there's a kit that somebody is selling and it's that squeezy bottle condensed milk with a pack of boba and Café du Monde coffee.
Oh, wow.
That's smart. You know what? I think I have some cans of condensed milk already, so I'm just going to buy the squeezy bottle.
And then fill it up. Okay. So Nestle condensed milk is only like $4.
Well, it's like 2 at the grocery store.
I'm just saying it's cheaper than.
Okay.
I don't make the pricing. I'm just telling you about the pricing. Anyways, condensed milk and avocado. Get into it.
And now we are talking about the TikTok ban. Okay.
Wait. Let me segue into that.
Okay.
So, anyways, bulldog noodles so expensive on Amazon. Ooh. And speaking of which, my Amazon, I get people aggressively trying to sell me bulldogs on the TikTok shop.
What?
Do you ever get those ads?
Yes, I get ads for bulldog and I get ads for Beauty by Joseon sunscreen and rocks.
And I feel like some of these products are literally just like straight from like AliExpress that people are selling.
It's drop shipping. A lot of people are just drop shipping on TikTok Shop. And this was like stupid.
Oh my God, check out this amazing tote. Like all the Trader Joe's totes are sold out. So, but instead I got this like cuter tote and it was literally just like a generic tote.
Yes.
And in front of the tote, there was like a logo that said like tote bag or just something.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like so generic. And they're making it seem like this is like the next tote bag. And I'm like, get your money, girl. But also like...
I get it. things like this are going to be what pretty much destroys the influencer economy. In the sense where, like, it's one thing where you're giving recommendations off of brands that you love as a person who is specializes in something. Like, I will talk about things that I love, like everything from instant noodles to kitchen tools and stuff like that. But I'm not giving like makeup recommendations.
No, but I will. If there's a brand that I love,
exactly.
I will give makeup recommendations. Yeah, but I'm not here giving out like car parts recommendations.
Right. And you have these kids on TikTok who like don't know shit and like, oh my God, I am so obsessed with this. Checks notes, shadow work journal. And like they don't know anything about the stuff that they're talking about. And like, so this is why
they also sell it so like intensely too.
Yes, they do. Because they're desperate for money. That's why they're so intense.
So TikTok got rid of like the creator funds, and so this is how they pay people now? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, there is something, they are paying us to do longer videos, but not by very much. Like, we don't get paid a lot by TikTok.
Yeah, because there's like this like lady that I follow, like, and she posts like interesting content. But then the other day, like, her cooking is like not cooking content at all. But then the other day, she's just randomly cooking like food, like in her pan, aggressively trying to like hawk this like kitchen utensil. And I'm like, again, get your coin, girl, but it's like,
you don't know anything about this. Yeah. Like, you can't really use it to its full potential and tell people how to use it properly. Yeah. And I also noticed that a lot of celebrities are pivoting to, and a lot of like random other like content creators and influencers are pivoting to food all of a sudden because it's so easy to monetize, I guess. But like, you have these people where you're like, you're watching them going like, you have no interest in eating food whatsoever. Yeah. But you're releasing like a cookware set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won't name names, but yes. It does seem like a very like cheap like cash grab.
But it's fine. Anyways, TikTok is getting shut down.
And it will, I'm sure it will 100% get shut down because the world is corrupt and it's all politics.
It's like, it's so stupid because 60% of TikTok is owned by American shareholders. Like, the Chinese government has a minority stake in TikTok, but nobody will accept it because they're like, oh, racism, pretty much.
Oh, xenophobia, absolutely.
Yeah, xenophobia and or xenophobia. And yeah, so another reason why actually there are a lot of people that are lobbying TikTok to get shut down right now.
Before the election.
Without getting too much into it, the Israeli government is lobbying for it very, very hard as well. And there are a lot of there's a lot of interest in like, what can I say? You know, like the people who funded Elon Musk and had them like buy Twitter and stuff. There's talk of like them being super interested in like being the ones to buy China's share.
Oh, so they could ruin TikTok too?
Not so they can ruin TikTok, because like TikTok is still like a super valuable thing. And it's like its algorithm is still like something that everybody wants. And so everyone has their eyes set on it. But the Chinese government it still has the stance of, no, we are not going to, you're not going to force us to sell this thing. We would rather see it shut down than give our technology to you.
But also by shutdown, they only mean US, because actually most of the TikTok users aren't US.
Yes, actually, yeah. It's just their most lucrative ad market. So they would rather have it shut down than like give TikTok over to a US company, at least the US portion. But I also saw an article saying how like the rest of the world is actually really excited.
Really?
Like Canadian TikTok, UK TikTok, Australia. They're all like, I kind of hope it happens because this kind of just gives us a social network without Americans.
You know what, though?
And I get it.
I totally get it because Americans in the
We
comments
dominate.
are some of the most like rotted people
We are.
in the world. You know, like go into like any like non-Americans cooking video, and the comments are like, "This is why you don't eat at strangers' house," or
Yeah.
you know, like, "Oh, y'all didn't use season." You know, just every point of view is very American centric.
Yes.
And they just assume like rest of the world thinks, eats, and operates in the way like Americans do.
Right.
And it's very like prevalent in the comments.
Did you see Miriam Margolyes, the lady who played Professor Sprout in Harry Potter series? So she's a famous British actress and an elder famous British actress. And she was actually, did you ever see Scarlet Witch, the series?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, she was supposed to play a character called Agatha, and she was like an other witch on it. And they actually instead got that lady from SNL to play it, and she was pretty iconic in the role. But they had initially offered Miriam Margolyes I think that's how you say her name, the role for it. And she, and her reasoning, she asked for $1 million US. Or wait, no, she asked for £1 million. So I think like $1.2 million US to do it. When they had initially offered her half of that, and she was like, I don't really like America, and you're not going to make me spend 4 months in Georgia for anything less than £1 million. And I was like, you better tell them, because that is so right.
Like, get your money, girl.
As an elder person, you have to pay me a shit ton of money to come here.
It's true. I mean, you know, like our days are like numbered in life, you know?
Yeah.
So
honestly.
You want me to live somewhere where I don't want to live for that like long?
Yeah.
You know?
When you're already rich, when you're already getting Harry Potter money?
For 1/3 of the year? Hell no.
Oh, man.
I go away for like weekend in a place I don't want to go, and I'm already like, oh, I miss my home.
Yeah. Yes. Even when I was in Puerto Rico, I came home and it was cold and rainy, and I was like, it's so good to be back.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as like the TikTok, we all talked about it when we were on the Puerto Rico trip, all of us, and to various degrees. I think every single person in that group had already like divested from TikTok, like heavily, myself included. Like it's not our main focus anymore, and it hasn't been probably for the past 2 years, simply because like TikTok had like shifted its focus from creators to shop, and like they don't really care about content creators anymore. They just want to sell stuff.
Yeah.
And so like, you know, we all have YouTube channels. We all are being pretty heavy into Instagram. Some of us have our own blogs. Some of us are doing like long videos on YouTube. Some of us are writing books. Like, I do get asked a lot, like, oh, are you going to be okay without TikTok? Because like I've actually been without TikTok for quite a long time already. So,
wow, forgetting where you come from.
I mean,
wow.
I tried so hard to like stick to it and like be quote unquote like loyal to TikTok in a way, but it's just so obvious that like when you're not their focus anymore, then there's really no point in to continue trying, because it's completely like a one-sided relationship at that point. So that's why like when YouTube approached me, and even Instagram to some extent, like I was over at the Instagram offices during my book tour.
Wow, you're like those like K-pop idols that become like famous, and then once the contract is up, instead of renewing with the company that gave you your footing, you move on to a different agency.
Yeah, I am not going to like, I'm literally not going to starve for a person that doesn't even know I exist anymore, right?
Yeah.
Just because of what, yeah. Like, why am I the only person going down in the ship?
I mean, I don't know if you're going down, per se.
No. No, but now a lot of people are like, Well, of course, like Meta, it has been one of the biggest lobbyists of the TikTok ban for like the most obvious reasons. Like they have been lobbying.
But Meta, we hate you.
I mean,
your shit stank.
I can't believe how much of a pivot Meta has done. Now that for TikTok to be the enemy and for them to be the quote unquote good guy, because like they have Threads. Like they did a huge thing. Like Adam Mosseri, like he's the CEO of Instagram and Threads. Like he did such a great job to make them not the bad guy anymore. Because before it was Facebook that was the bad guy. Zuckerberg was enemy number one because of the Cambridge Analytica cases, and they couldn't do anything. They were like the evil empire. They were worse than Amazon and Bezos. And now TikTok is here, and like most largely due to racism, that this all has happened. And now like Mark Zuckerberg's like kind of living an influencer life now, and Adam is saving us all from like Twitter with Threads. Or at least they're trying. It's been a pretty incredible like shift. And to be honest, like, you know, I do spend more time on Reels than I do on TikTok now, because TikTok is fucking annoying, and Reels actually like is showing me like fun videos.
Well, TikTok or not, I just hate the fact that like greedy politicians are just having like this much power, you know?
Oh, I know.
For a supposed like country of freedom, it's like freedom under like their profit margin, you know?
It's crazy. It's crazy how the reasons why, the multiple reasons why TikTok is getting shut down ranges between racism, xenophobia, down to like the fact that governments and companies really don't like the fact that people have a direct voice to each other without it being filtered through by like as some kind of like news media or American-owned corporation or entity. Like the Chinese people don't give a fuck what we're saying to each other.
Yeah.
They're just letting us say stuff to each other. Yeah. And as it turns out, that is like the worst thing that we can be doing according to our government and our, I guess, corporate overlords. I don't know what you call it, but still. It's dangerous when Americans can talk to Americans. That is the message they're sending across right now.
If I could like hop on a time machine, I get on a time machine and I skip the next 5 years. I want to skip this election season, and I want to skip the next 4 years.
Do you feel like Trump is going to win?
I don't want to, but yes.
Yeah, me too.
I just don't see Biden winning at this point.
I know.
Because, you know.
I know.
I feel like he's already like lost the Gen Z vote.
Yep.
He's lost like half the millennial vote.
Yep. And that's most of the voting bloc.
Yeah.
Because these fucking olds don't really care about like what's going on after they die.
They really don't, you know?
They really don't. They're legislating like they're dying tomorrow, which they are. But like, even Mitch McConnell has fucking stepped down. The turtle has left the building.
It's looking really bleak.
Trump's favorite way to eat steak is well done with ketchup.
That tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, it really does.
But let's end this on a happier note.
Okay.
What makes you happy, John?
What makes me happy? I mean, I still like what I do for a living. I like my job. I mean, I just got back from Puerto Rico with some amazing friends and stuff like that. Like at the end of the day, I think we'll be okay. We just have to ride it all out and stay within our like liberal strongholds.
I mean, you've already built a bomb shelter in your house.
I literally have. Yeah, it's like literally, it's that. So it's very fine. Much that.
Yeah, you know what makes me happy?
What?
Nothing. Nothing makes me happy.
Okay. Your dog makes you happy.
You know it does, yeah. The dog makes me very happy. And you know what else makes me happy? The smell of fresh baked bread.
Oh, it's so good.
Not that I bake so much bread, but when you do bake it, the warm, toasty smell of the yeast and the flour just chemically combusting.
I'm so sad that La Brea Bakery by you closed down.
Never been there, so I can't really comment on it.
Well, I brought bread to your house from there.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
But, there's other fabulous bread places in LA.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but that was the only place that you could walk to.
What? There's other fabulous bakeries in LA. Oh. I mean, do you like baking? You don't. You're a cook.
I don't. I wish I did, but I don't like it. I tried making blondies the other day, and I failed so hard. It was like overbaked. What came out was gross. Huh?
How did you fail?
They were not gooey and chewy.
Did you overcook it?
They were overcooked.
Did you not use a recipe?
I did, but then I kind of blanked out in the middle of it.
You didn't set a timer?
I did set a timer. I used a recipe, but then I followed the recipe and it came out overcooked.
So it was a bad recipe.
I mean, it was a recipe from America's Test Kitchen. So I'm still more likely to believe that it was my fault because they really test the fuck out of their recipes. So I'm still thinking that I messed up somewhere there, but you still never know.
Because I understand people not liking to bake, but baking is one of those as long as the recipe is good and if you follow the recipe, you can't mess it up. So
yeah.
What's the truth?
I don't know. I'd have to make it. I have to try making it again, but I always have so few baking ingredients in my house.
Mm-hmm.
I never have the right flour for some reason. I have flour, just never the right flour.
The baking flour?
So, yeah, baking flour.
You got to get that level. We need a flour draw from you.
A flour drawer. Oh my God. Like Shireen.
Yes. That we always
with
talk
her
about.
Flowers. Oh,
yeah, we love her. We love her drawer.
So sexy. Oh, that kitchen organization. It just hits so hard.
Or you can make those mochiko cakes, which is literally mochiko flour and eggs and.
I've always wanted to make mochi brownies or a mochi cake and stuff like that because those look pretty easy and they all look super chewy.
Good. And it's super easy to make.
And I want to make a corn one.
Oh, that would be really good.
Like a mochi corn cake or mochi corn bread. If you do a little bit of mochi and a little bit of cornmeal.
I had an orange version, which had orange zest grated into it, and it was topped with orange marmalade.
Oh my God.
It was so good.
Can you send it to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
This will be our good note that we're ending with. We're going to make mochi cakes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
St. Patrick's Day, make mochi cakes.
St. Patrick's Day mochi cakes.
And oh my God, today would be a good day for you to go to the bars.
Ew. Why?
So you have a good story to tell after.
What?
John Kong takes on bars on St. Patrick's Day.
Or I can stay home and not leave my house.
Oh, come on. Everybody's going.
Are you going out?
The fuck no. The fuck I am.
Okay. Well, this has been John Kung and Kimchi, and you have been listening to One for the Table.
Oh my God. That reminds me, I have corned beef that I'm going to cook today.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what you should do? Because I kind of had this idea, but I have none of the ingredients for it, but I think it'll be fun. You know when I told you to make the millefeuille?
Millefeuille, yeah.
The millefeuille cabbage thing? Cabbage hot
corned beef and cabbage?
You should do it with corned beef and cabbage. You just
But how do I slice the corned beef that thin?
It doesn't have to be that thin. It just has to be thin. And the great thing is because you're slicing it into thinner things, kind of I don't know, thicker, about ham thick, slices of ham thick I would do.
I feel like I'd have to cook the corned beef first.
Yes.
And then maybe freeze it or something, so it's like easier to slice, and then slice it into like thin strips for it to be like millefeuille.
Why is your corned beef already cooked?
No, it's raw like slab.
It should be fine. And even if it breaks apart, then you can still like just stuff it in between like the leaves of the cabbage. So you'll like cut the bottom of the cabbage and then you'll just layer it around one of your Le Creuset things. Mm-hmm. And then you'll like add in the bits of corned beef in between and you'll tuck it into the cabbage and then you fill it with water and you close it and then you braise it for like 45 minutes. And then you're going to get like this corned beef cabbage broth. And you can like eat that with rice or noodles.
No, you have to serve it with a side of carrots and potatoes.
Yes, you could. Oh, that'd be so. Or you could put carrots in there as well and let them cook with it and make it a little bit sweeter.
Do you have corned beef at home? You should make this too.
I should, but I don't. But it's not.
No, because
it's
after
too late
today, all the corned beef is going to go on sale at the grocery store.
Oh yeah, 100%. I will probably do it tomorrow.
Yeah. Do it.
Okay.
No, seriously though, it's a great time to buy corned beef.
I am. We could try to Zoom call each other and make this together. And try to
Yeah, that could be fun.
I think so.
Okay,
could be another episode.
Well, stay tuned for our Kim and John take on corned beef millefeuille.
Yeah.
And that's our podcast for the week. If you like what you heard, comment, like, subscribe, share. And if not, that's cool. Things are hard as it is, you know.
Goodbye.